Hello there. Today we're hiking the Lone Spring Trail at Cuivre River State Park. This is going to be one of those falls where we barely get any leaf color. We're in early October. All the early turners, dogwoods, maples, those types of trees, all their leaves are on the ground already. They just went straight to brown and dropped. Still really beautiful to be out in the woods on a day like this. Leaves all over the ground, cool, crisp morning. Great time to be out for a hike. Wow, that is a big oak. Wow, this trail is a roller coaster the whole time. Man, I love the smell of cedar and pine groves. This is a section of the forest where they do prescribed burns. It keeps it nice and open. It's quite beautiful. I had to stop here near the bottoms to listen to the cricket song. It's been so quiet in the woods today. Until I got down here, I felt like I was really the only creature out here today. It's a reminder we're headed into the quiet season. I'll miss the cacophony of spring and summer. But winter has its own charm. Okay, so there's this little two-lane road that cuts through the northern boundary of this park. And I really didn't expect it to be as busy as it is. I was going to film myself just kind of like lollygagging across it, maybe put the camera in the middle of the road. This thing's too busy, so if this is the end of the video, I didn't make it. Otherwise, we'll pick it up on the other side. So if you look down the road, you can see a car parked just off to the side of the road. That's the trailhead, which means we're at about the halfway point. Probably another 3 miles to go. Oh, and there's somebody pulling into the trailhead or into the park. Now this, even though we're towards the beginning of October, looks like a late fall hike. This is pretty. Cruisy, cruisy. Well, so far this northern loop has been nice and easy. I'm really enjoying it. Ah, the wind picked up and it's blowing all the leaves out of the trees. This park has an interesting geology. It's a karst geology, K-A-R-S-T, which is actually unique to the Missouri and Arkansas Ozarks, except for this one area that this park is in, which somehow escaped the glaciation that everything else around here did, creating a bunch of slightly rolling hills, flat land, and really good heavy soiled farmland outside of this park until you get down to the Ozarks. And then it's generally all rock. Now the thing about karst geology is it has a tendency to form lots of caves. So far in Missouri, for example, it's called the Cave State because they found over 6,000. And it also creates lots of springs and sinkholes. So what we're looking for next is Lone Spring, the largest of several springs in this park, with an average daily flow rate of over 3 million gallons a day. There are also several caves and sinkhole ponds in this park, but we're not going to walk by any of those today. Well, I lost the trail probably 3 or 4 times so far down here in the bottoms. We're coming along either Big Sugar Creek or a tributary to it. Thank God for blazes. I'm back. What's this crossing like in the spring? Wow. Well, from the description I read of this trail, we're supposed to go along the top of a bluff overlooking Big Sugar Creek, which we're in the floodplain valley of right now. It's a couple of 100 yards maybe over in this direction. And then there's a spur trail from the top of the bluff down to the base of it where Lone Spring is. I'm kind of a little nervous because I didn't think that the trail went through the bottom along Big Sugar Creek. I'm hoping we didn't miss it. We'll find out. This has to be Lone Spring. I know we've had a drought for the entire summer, probably half a year, 5-6 months. This is no 3 million gallons a day type of spring. It's supposed to be a perennial spring, actually, always constantly flowing year round. So I expected it to be really low, but not dry. Which means that somehow we've been on the spur trail for quite a ways, and I don't know where the main trail is, so looks like it's time to do some backtracking. Okay, after this spectacular feature, the next thing to look for is a spur trail off to the right to that overnight backpacking site. Okay, in future videos, we're going down to the Ozarks, and I'm going to show you guys some really big springs. So, before I leave, I just wanted to show you that there's even a bench here so you can sit and enjoy your viewing pleasure of the magnificent spring. Let's get going. Okay, we're back on the main trail. So let's find that backpacking camp. Actually, I'm kind of glad I scouted this before backpacking it for an overnight, because that's where I would have come for my water. Now I know I've got to just pack more in. Well, this looks like a great spot to pitch camp. Just remember, it's a dry camp. So you've got a firebox with the grill. Behind it you've got a second site with the fire ring. There are about 3 good spots to pitch a tent, but there's no good hang here. So if you're a hammocker, bring a tent for this one. Let's go check out the site behind us, and then we'll get back on the trail. I prefer this spot. A lot less used, a lot more natural. It's a really good spot right here for a tent. Build up that fire ring a little bit. I'd bring a chair. If you're only a mile and a half from your car, I'd bring a lot of luxuries for this one. We'll be back. Back to the trail. Man, I love this spot. I've got to camp here. Beautiful breeze, perfect weather. What an awesome day to be outside. I'm loving it. I looked down and realized I'm covered in stick tights and burrs. And I've been dragging my jacket through all of that. It won't fit in my pack. There's too much camera gear and other stuff in there, so I'm gonna have to find another way to carry it. Better than ticks and chiggers. Well, I'd like to have the rain, but I am grateful these creeks are dry today. Well, there are so many blowdowns here, I keep losing the trail. I don't even know how many times I've been lost on this hike. And the leaves on the ground help camouflage it as well. Fortunately, it's fairly well blazed. I almost forgot. We have one more spur trail to explore. We're now on land that was recently acquired by the park. This used to be a church camp called Shady 80 Ranch, and there is a lake called Shady 80 Ranch Lake. That's difficult to say. that's supposed to be good for fishing, so I want to go check that out. We're not supposed to have rain, but it sure feels like a storm's moving in. Man, this is a really long spur trail. I don't know how far we're going. Storm's gonna hit probably about the time we get to the lake. Neat. It's an old dirt road. Wow. So we have the road coming up the hill behind us. Trail came out on the road right behind the camera. And then we have a two-way intersection here. And I see a couple of buildings, houses or something over here on the right. I'm not sure what to expect. I've never been here, but this is kind of fun. It's not a very large lake, but definitely big enough to be in a john boat or a canoe and fish. Off to the left is a dam. Straight across the water is something like a metal bridge. It's hard to tell from here. Looks nice. You can't camp here, and that's too bad because this would be awesome. This place is beautiful, and I've got it all to myself right now. So definitely going to research that dirt road, see if I can find where it goes, where the two ends are, see if I can find anything out about this old church camp, and see if there's any way I can finagle an opportunity to camp out here, do some fishing and explore. I'd like to explore and see if that is a metal bridge or what that is. I'm sure we'll be back, but I'm pretty positive there's a storm moving in. I think it's time to head back to the car. We've still got quite a ways to go. Okay, so I was thinking, if that's an old camp, we saw the outbuildings. Looks like they were storage for lawn equipment, old playground swing set. There's some monkey bars, of course the lake, the pavilion with some picnic tables in it. That means that somewhere maybe down one of those dirt roads are a bunch of cabins and a kitchen and everything else that goes along with the camp. And since it belongs to the park now and it's been abandoned and it looks like they didn't tear any of those buildings down, maybe the rest is here somewhere too. Man, I am coming back. This is right up my alley. All right, back to the main trail. And we're back. Well, this isn't good. You see how the roots of this tree are up in the air and it's caught in the crook of this other tree and goes across the trail. I have to go under that. Just another day in the woods. I made it under that tree in case you were curious. That's a pretty stream bed. Well, we're almost back to the trailhead. I have to say this was a much bigger adventure than I expected. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for taking a walk with me. Please join me for future ones. Bye-bye.